Hello.
Hello, are you there? What happened?
It said Zoom updating and kicked me out.
We're still recording, by the way. We're still recording.
Hello everyone. I've been away, but I'm happily back now because my Zoom account chose to update in the middle of that conversation. I'm really, really sorry. I feel so embarrassed, but
this is us all over, isn't it? This is what happens.
This is
with us.
It's what we're saying.
But that's brilliant. So let's just carry on then, really, with where we're at.
I ask you?
Yes.
We talked about what we liked, and
yeah.
I just think now we should talk about what we least liked, what we, just least felt was effective.
I don't know if I've got any questions that I didn't like. No, I don't.
I think that's got to be a healthy answer, because to me, the research in making sure the questions were right for the person we're speaking to goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hard work and research, and I think that, is a credit. That you work hard, and I just think that they were designed in the right way around the right people. Yeah.
Yes, we're not asking all the same questions to every single person. We're tailoring the questions to their story and what we know about them and what we'd like to know more about, them, from them, really. So, yes, so that's really, I don't think I found a question that I didn't like at all, really. What piqued your curiosity?
Oh, gosh. I'm always curious about people who they start work, say from school or from college or university or whatever, and they go on a pathway. And I'm always curious, when they do change, what is it? Is it a feeling? Is it a gut reaction? Is it something they've seen? Is it somebody they've met? So I'm always curious. Change is a word we use a lot. I don't mean in a flippant way, because that's not what we mean at all. But when people reach that, along that pathway, when they reach that little bit of a crossroad and they think, I'm going to try doing it this way, or I'm going to, change direction completely. My curiosity's rocked in, what was it? A light bulb moment? Was it something they read? I mean, books influence me all the time, and even Shakespeare's sonnets, which I read, and, all sorts of things. But my curiosity is always stemmed by what made them do that.
I think
that's my main curiosity.
Yeah, what piqued my curiosity is, as I've already mentioned, really finding out more about Chris's journey from his religious backgrounds to where he ended up in. And we're going to follow that one up, because that's too good story not to pass up. But again, to stop repeating, so I don't repeat myself again with it, but that would have been the one that really piqued my curiosity out of the 5 that we've looked at so far. What questions made you stop and think?
If I'm honest, nothing in particular, because I was always enthralled about what people were telling me about their lives, and sometimes not the unexpected, but just sometimes their passion, nothing beyond that. For me personally, no. What about you?
I think the interview with Claire Delahaye made me stop and think, because I'd been having a conversation with Annette, Ian, Tricia. About hobbies and interests. So the old regional office bods, now that I'm still in contact with, and we were talking about hobbies and interests, and they was all talking about what they do and all the different things they're involved in. And as it came around the table to me talking about my hobbies and interests, really, Tricia said, "Oh, you know, why don't you think about joining a choir?" She said, "I think you'd be really good in doing something like that." Why do you laugh? What's
Never heard you sing.
You are out of order. I have you know that I can sing. I have you know that I did,
never heard you sing.
I did used to do some wedding singing once upon a time, but that's a different story, a different tale.
Well.
Once upon a time, but not so much these days. I'm a bit crusty these days. But when Claire was talking at the end, she said about come and see us. You need to stop this. You know, come and see us and have a conversation, and you know, maybe come and watch us. I thought, oh, actually, it did make me stop and think for a moment. Whether I do it or not is a different thing. I'm not too very good in group sports like that. You know, big group things. And I know that's why you're laughing, because you know me. It did stop and make me think, well, actually, should I join a choir? But yeah, the jury's still out on that one. I'm not sure, but that did make me stop and think.
Right, okay. The next Robbie Burns night that you're here, I'll get you to sing the Haggis song then.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Right.
Also, another thing that made me stop and think is on one of the interviews, I can't remember which one it was now. I think it might have been Chris Sweeney's again, where retirement came up.
Yes.
Was it Chris Sweeney's?
I think it was, because he's our only retiree.
And you started to talk about yours. That made me stop and think, because I know you've been after it for a little while. So yeah, that was, I think, the ultimate thing that made me stop and think, oh crikey, we've managed to avoid this subject for a while. Just by me
now
just
it's
blocking you when you
forever.
start to talk about it, quite frankly. But then it came up in the interview, and yes, and while we're chuckling about it and laughing about it, it's a serious thing, really, and something that we need to be thinking about.
It's not to go obviously into our stories too much, but it won't happen yet, and it won't. I don't think it'll happen for a while. It was just more, I didn't want to work every day.
Yeah.
You know, and having had very happily had, you know, very responsible jobs in my past, and done a lot of things, which has, you know, been a challenge, and overcome a lot of stuff. I was just ready, you know, and from, I think more so from me not being well latterly, I was just ready really just to know I wasn't working every day.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't want to run away from DYB. And, you know, you and I will be together for a long time, even if it's in a, you know, in a different capacity in the future. And we get younger people in, and, you know, we sit there in our shawls with our crocheting, giving all the advice to everybody else on how it should be done, and them telling us, no, that's the old-fashioned way. But, you know, I think fundamentally, because we are who we are, and we, like I say, we like to share knowledge.
Yeah.
So in sharing knowledge freely, the way you and I like to do, I think there'll always be, you know, always be a good base for everything we do, because we do it with an open heart.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people box it up, or they don't want to share it because they're afraid of other people making use of it. And
knowledge is power.
Yes,
That
well, knowledge
old
is power.
1970s chestnut.
It is a chestnut, isn't it? It's massive. Knowledge is power, but it's only powerful in the best way when used by the best people.
Yeah, and I don't subscribe to that wholeheartedly. Anyway, that seems very old-fashioned, sort of. You know, you should be gaining new knowledge all the time, shouldn't you? You should be collecting new wisdoms as you're going along. So your one set of knowledge that you've got, you should be updating it, and you only update that knowledge by talking about what you do and having that dialogue, don't you? That discussion where what you're putting out there is interrogated in a way, and people are challenging that, and then you shape your thinking, and you know, so that old, as I call it, that old chestnut.
But there again, going back to Chris Sweeney and how he liked his debating.
Yeah. Yes.
It is all about, you know, the debates, and because sometimes in a debate around a table of a lot of people, I've sat there and I thought, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's lovely and healthy when people say, I didn't know that. You know, when did that change? Or oh, that's a good way of thinking. So yeah, I always enjoy that, and you know, love to participate, but love to listen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the next question that we've got down here is, did anything cause you to be fearful or anxious in any way when we were doing the interviews? Sorry? This question. I mean, related to the interviews that we've done.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to the subject, of course. Oh, I don't know. I can't. I'm not going to make it up. I just.
No.
I didn't. And I'm trying to think. Was there something? You know. No, there wasn't. I mean, you know, I could have missed a trick there, but for me personally, and you know, my personality, the way I am, I didn't. Only anxious, I suppose, for the people who hopefully want to go forward and can't, or well, not can't, but you know, they're keen to go forward, and maybe things might stop them, or in the current climate, the way things are, hold them back. So it's more an anxiousness around feeling heartfelt for them. You know, they're trying their best, and through things, you know, that are beyond their control, they can't move forward.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right that we had lots of conversations, didn't we, about the coronavirus, and you know, we started the interviews back in February before all this got to where it is now. And so we had that discussion and decided that we were going to continue to move forward with them and inject that bit of positivity and a bit of laughter into our daily lives, really, and hopefully into other people's lives by having something else to focus on other than the doom and gloom that's surrounded by it. And it's not about, you know, just being optimistic, because in our business we talk about pessimism and optimism being both ends of the sharp stick. That actually, you know, if you're functioning in either of those ends, then that's not good for you, and it's not good for your business. It's about focusing in the positive realm, but also in the realistic realm. So marrying those two elements together really is where we try and place ourselves and what we do. But I know we had conversations with people about, you know, should we be, you know, promoting what we do at this time? And my thinking on it was absolutely yes, because what else are you going to do?
Yes.
Or is your business not worth fighting for? So that we don't know what's going to happen on the other side. We don't know. We have no idea. We don't even know if we're going to be around on the other side of this. But, you know, I'd rather keep doing something than to do nothing at all and sit and wait. That's not how I work. That's not what I do.
No.
And so, and I know it's not how you work and what you do either. So we made that decision to keep going forward. Although, to answer my own question, it did make me slightly anxious about how it would be received, because we're talking about promoting people's business when people are struggling and you know, losing jobs and, you know, and everything, and income that goes with their jobs, and their, you know, their Maslow hierarchy of needs, their basic level needs were not being met. But again, it always came back to, when we chatted about it, well, what else do we do? Do we sit and just wait it out and hope that we can pick something up when the coronavirus is all done and gone? Or do we try and flex and pulse with what we have at the moment and keep DYBC in people's minds in some way, the way we originally started out with this learning tool? And I'm so glad that we continued. I'm so glad that we continued. I'm so glad that we're giving other people the opportunity to do what they can to continue their businesses. Because I know we're having these conversations even more so now that people are really struggling. Businesses are really struggling. And so I feel quite proud that we kept going with it, and we continue to keep going with it, and supporting our colleagues that are out there,
I think
trying to make it work. No, what was the alternative?
I don't think there was one. I didn't feel anxious about the fact that we were trying, obviously, to support DYBC. Of course we would, because that's what we do. But again, going back to our caring and sharing way, we wanted to bring people on board to, you know, to help just let other people know what they were doing. And, you know, at the other end of this, it's not hopefully going to be lights out and let's all go home. It's going to be something else that's live out there that people can look at. They can look at themselves and reflect on, you know, what they said, what they did, what their aspirations were. You know, so it's going to be a tool for both sides, both the, you know, the person who is interviewed and their profession, and the other people are people out there who are struggling, who will listen to what was said. So I just think, in my mind, rightly or wrongly, well, rightly, it's just been a huge support mechanism.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying, Marcy, I know, because people can say, oh, you know, they're promoting their business and, you know, it's all about DYBC. It's not, because it's not the way we work.
The other thing, I suppose, that made me anxious was a couple of people that gave out their phone numbers.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
That gave me a bit of like, you know, oh crikey! But as long as they're happy
to do it,
as long as they're happy to do it, then, you know, then I'm happy to do it. But it did make me think, oh my gosh, they're giving out their mobile phone numbers to the World Wide Web, or, you know, in somebody's case, that you know, it wasn't their business line, it's their home line. And so they're giving it out to the World Wide Web, really, and that could invite all sorts of people to take advantage of that and not use it in a productive way. But if they are happy to do that, and actually with both of them, those numbers are out there anyway on the web, which made me, when I went back and I did a bit of research, that made me feel so much better. But I couldn't find it to begin with, but then I did find them and thought, well, actually, by just searching that, somebody else could come across that number anyway. So
we weren't the ones that gave it out, but allowed it to go out.
So that those things gave me, because it is about
because it was
protecting people too, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. I think people don't always protect themselves because they're thinking that by giving their number out in particular, I know we're on that particular question, that, you know, obviously people will get in touch for all the right reasons, and of course, as you so rightly say, they don't, and they make use of it. You know, even on our own phones at home, we've got all sorts of scams going on, you know.
Absolutely.
Which is awful. Yeah, I suppose that would have made it. But I think once I was anxious, I suppose, if you like, at the time, once I realised the first time it happened, and I went, oh, goodness. But once it was said, and it was almost like permission granted. And the second time, exactly the same. It was more or less permission from them.
And we checked that out the second time, didn't we?
While
we were videoing.
We did learn by our mistakes, and you know, we're not infallible, but we never have done it deliberately or in any other way than it just going out there in the conversation, you know. So yes. Are there any other areas where you felt anxious?
No, they were just the two. The talking about, you know, building, continuing to promote the business in this time, and then people giving out their details, their, you know, personal, which could be personal details on, you know, which get that more than the coronavirus gave me anxiety, to be fair.
Yeah, right, crikey. Well, no, yes, to the individual, of course.
Yeah.
So, what made you feel proud, Marcia? Videos, which I think this is a great question.
Yeah, and there's lots of things really that made me feel proud, but I think hearing people mentioning DYBC in terms of their journey, that makes me feel really proud. And when they've maybe mentioned me in particular, that again has made me feel proud about what we've done and what I've done in terms of helping them, being that small part. It's not taking anything away from them, but it is that acknowledgement that I've had a small part in moving them from A to B.
Yeah,
you know, that's made me feel very, you know, really proud. What about you?
So you should be, because you have done an awful lot to support, and people say it quite openly, you know, that nobody's prompting them to say anything. They just say it, don't they? And it's lovely, and I'm proud of that, of you. You know, so in one of my little prides was, I feel that when they say that about you, I think that's great. You know, which is, it doesn't always happen with people. Could be a bit of envy, but there's never that. I always feel very, very proud, and I know you'll have done your best to help them. So that's really great.
So our final question is around really.
Can I tell you why I'm proud?
Yeah, sorry.
Excuse me, folks. Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
It's all right. No. I'm just proud of the way, it's two or threefold really, but I'm very proud of the way DYBC works. I'm very proud of the way that we work, and we have a laugh and we have fun, but we're very professional at the end of the day. That leads me to pride, and pride in the associations we have with so many people, and you know, the people are grateful, you know, for leadership through DYB, which is wonderful, but proud about how people feel about how we talk to them and how we make them feel, whether we're mentoring or we're, you know, whatever it is we're doing. It's a cushion, and it just makes me feel very happy and content. And I think if you reach that in your job and how you're doing stuff, that is a pride in its own, because you're comfortable, aren't you? You know people respect you, more than happy to come along and ask you for some advice, take it on board, which, you know, is the other thing. So yeah, lots of pride around that, and how the business has grown, and you know, in the face of adversity, because there's been a bit of that over the years, that we're still here, professionally still here, doing the same wonderful things.
So what does the future hold for the interview series then, do you think?
I think a lot more of the same. I think a lot more, even after coronavirus is over, and that's well out the way. I think the more of these that we do, and second rounds that we will do with people, we'll just support people out there. You know, they'll just feel that they're on a medium somewhere where it's not just them on their webpage. You know, it's other people who are interested in them. So I think the more we take them forward and the more we put them out there and promote them, people will succeed. So I think it's a great vehicle for success for a lot of people. So I think that's how we will take these forward in that format, unless we see it can be done differently.
Yeah. We just got to keep going for now, haven't we? And just seeing what's happened. I mean, the lockdown has meant that this has turned out to be a really good thing for us, being able to do it on Zoom once we get the technology right and we don't keep cutting off.
Oh, I'm going to have a word with Zoom. I don't need Zoom to be. But
you know, it would be nice, wouldn't it, to be able to do some of this stuff face to face, having the interviews face to face. So we're in one room.
To that, really.
Yeah. So that would be where I would like to see the future bring it, and that's where I'm aiming to see the interviews go. That's my plan. Not
that there's anything wrong with doing it this way, because you know, obviously people abroad, which we have, and you know, we can't always get them in the same room. But yes, because there is a different feel when you're with somebody in the room, isn't it? Totally. Yeah.
Parting thoughts then. Parting thoughts as we close this summary down. Anything that you would add in before we finish off?
We've obviously just got to carry on selecting people from all sorts of backgrounds, you know, that we need to interview to get the best out of them, to promote them, and promote ourselves, of course. But I don't know if there's anything else at the moment, because I still have a massive open mind about change. And if something comes up that is a better vehicle than what we're doing, or is a better way, or different types of questions for different reasons, I'm all for that. So very much always an open mind and always receptive to some good ideas. I think is the only thing I'd like to add at this stage anyway.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, guys, this is the end of the summary for the 5 videos that we've done more recently, which is the Chris Sweeney, Julie Ledbitter,
Claire Delahaye,
Siobhan Fennell, and Sam Culshaw Robinson. So be really happy to get your comments and your feedback and your thoughts on the summary that we've given today, and look forward to reading your comments on YouTube. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much, and I've enjoyed this session, as I always do, of course, but yeah, I have. Thank you.